Yeah.
Actually, the other, I sat down and it was off. It was up and down. Then I'm like. See, I already get it. I'm gonna see how it's. Good food. He's more shit he made it for years ago. I think I make it hurt.
Yeah, you're right. Good to see you.
Yeah, and then I walked to a scale that's also. Yeah, I remember that, really, you know that.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah. That's definitely not fun. It's, so you're doing better. Come in. Yeah. It's awesome. Great. So that's it. That was it. Right.
Really be interested. You look really good. You joining me on this side?
Yes. Yeah, I've been only. We've been very busy.
I'm thinking about last time.
Back through this year, he's running through that list. Yeah. It's a lot better. Yeah, I think
we moved less.
I mean, I don't know, but it'll be like perfect again.
Not necessarily us.
Yeah. But like now, drastically better than it was. So yeah. Standard. They come down a lot of spot and that's really, it's a lot. I mean, I'd still give him like this. Compared to expectations, it's probably still like a B plus. But do I see it now actually on the road to back to an A? Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Anybody know how to work this?
Third hand.
I would assume. I think the arrows it doesn't.
Before there. You.
Do you want me to stand here and it says tab?
Sure. Do you want me to sit up there and do it for you?
Anybody know any good jokes?
Oh, what was the one I said the other day?
Service machine.
No, no.
Sound appropriate?
Yeah.
No.
Sort of the source.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
It is.
But it's better blue with it.
Sure.
Yeah, where's Siege?
He said it wasn't on his calendar, so he was busy. I walked by his desk, he was watching it all. What is? That's common.
Absolutely honest about right. Very on par with that guy.
$5. Yeah,
It used to be that. It used to be.
$25 there.
Did I mean?
You know what happens? Thank you. All right, so I will have no problem if you do not raise your hand. Raise your hand if you know how I am. You know of it. Okay, awesome. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I got mortgaged when I was 19 years old, and I'm 40, about to be 45. So I've done this for a while. So for the first 16 years of my career was a lot of hustle, a lot of just trying to be the hardest working person in the room. That gave me a lot of success. It gave me a lot of income, but there's a lot of mistakes on it. And one of the largest mistakes I made was with my family. I was going after awards, I was going after trophies, I was going after accolades and income, but made me a non-present father, non-present husband. I missed more dinners than I ever made. And what really, I had a wake-up call in 2016, and that wake-up call was, my boys were 5 and 7. My oldest son, his name is Braden. We call him Braden the Brave. And youngest son is Alexander. We call him Alexander the Great. And Alex was 5 at the time. We're going to Disneyland on family vacation. I'm rolling my suitcase out of my bedroom into the front foyer, and Alex is already there. And Alex says, "Oh, Dad, you're coming with us." He was so surprised that I was going on a family vacation with him because I was so addicted to my job. I was so addicted to my work. I sacrificed so much of what was really important to me. And I really, why? It was solely because of ego. It was solely because that I wanted to be proud of being the hardest working person. So what I want to go through today is tips and tricks that I've learned over the years of how to be the most effective person working. How to set goals that allow you to achieve the most amount of success in the room, but the least amount of effort. And how to actually have the time in your life to be able to enjoy time with your family and friends, do what you enjoy. So I came up with something called 24/7 mindset. So what is 24/7? So I don't golf as much as Craig, but I usually golf probably 2, 3, 4 times a week, somewhere in that range. I've got 2 good legs. It's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me.
Yes, it's true.
8 maybe. But if you're golfing 3, 4 times a week, how many hours are left out of your 40-hour work week? 24. For the last 9 years, we've blessed to take 20+ weeks of vacation a year. So it's 20 weeks out of the office while I've got a team that closed over $200 million of loans a year, which is absolutely awesome. It lives a very blessed income. But if there's 20 weeks of vacation a year, how many months are left to work in a year? There's 7. So instead of me for my first 16 years of my career, focusing on working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I started learning how to make an income off my mortgage business that paid me 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 weeks a year, or 7 days of, wow, I guess I should probably get that down. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but me only having to invest in it, 24 hours a week, 7 months a year. So that's a 24/7 mindset. What can you do? What can you build that you're not married to your work? So as I go through here, what I want to talk about, obviously, has anybody heard of SMART goals? Okay, so that's not something that is going to be world renowned. You're going to really knock your socks off. But who applies SMART goals to their business? So yeah. Tell me some successes or failures you had trying to apply.
My problem is I'm good on a short term, but I like the business plan just goes out.
Okay.
Full disclosure.
Yeah, that's fine. We've all been there. I've definitely been there myself. What do you feel causes that?
Well, discipline, I mean, obviously. But I mean, in my book, not slowing down long enough to put the systems in place, because as soon as I get busy, I'm gone again.
Yeah. So what do you see yourself doing about that? What have you tried to do something? Obviously,
You're getting my mindset right, so I finally attack it. To be blunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a little bit better at some of the systems, but yeah, I haven't made a big leap to make the move.
So what's your name?
Brandon.
Wally, very nice to meet you. All right, let's go through it together. So give me a SMART goal that you've done. So what was specific about your goal?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, last year, I mean, I hit numbers and, daily actions and all that. I was specific.
Got it.
But I hit my numbers, but I didn't hit the other things I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
This year I haven't hit anything.
What I've learned is there is 5 words up there and all 5 are important. And all 5 have to be implemented. So if you only implement 4 out of the 5, you've got possibly a leaky ship there, how to set goals for yourselves. So somebody in the room, give me a goal that you're wanting to accomplish, but you keep struggling trying to hit. You keep hitting that ceiling of achievement.
I can do that. I mean,
Please.
mine's for recruiting,
Okay.
so I've got a number I've got to hit every month.
Okay, so when you're working on your goals, what is specific about that?
What do you mean? What's specific?
So for instance, me and the mortgage side of things, I'm a loan officer. I want to have 10 outbound calls a day. So that's specific and to my database.
Yeah.
So specifically the audience I'm reaching out to, how many outbound calls a day? So it's measurable. How am I measuring? I'm measuring that through my CRM. So I'm making 10 outbound calls to my CRM that I measure through my Salesforce CRM. That's kind of what I mean. So like,
So like I've got to bring in between 16 and 18 people a month.
okay.
So I've got to be really, really clear on conversion, how many people, how many conversations I have to have each week to start chipping away at that goal.
Got it. So how many conversations do you have to get an appointment?
To get an appointment, typically, I would say between 5 and 10.
Okay. So if you got to have 5 to 10 to get an appointment, then from there, how many appointments do you have to get someone to
To get 18 in the door, I need to have about 75 appointments per month.
So if you break that down and there's 20 business days in the month, then you know how many you've got to get that day, that week. And that's the point of breaking it down granularly, that if she's able to break it down step by step of how many people she's got to contact to get how many appointments set, to get how many people to come in the office for a sit-down meeting, to do how many KPAs,
You're right.
KPAs to be able to do, that have how many sit downs where you validate the KPA, and how many people sign up and want to move it. Like those are milestones that she's got to be able to audit to be able to measure what her success is. And that's why measurable is so important. So when it's actionable, Jill, what would make your goal actionable? What actions do you have to do that results in what you're measuring?
I have to pick up the phone.
Got it? How many times do you have to pick up the phone a day and how many contacts do you have to have per day that you need to speak to?
I mean, I need to be making about at least 20 to 30 contacts a day.
So 20 to 30, is there a number that you're married to? Because it sounds like you're dating 20.
That would be a problem. No, I mean, if I could have 20 conversations a day, I'd be doing amazing.
Yeah. Now you know your target.
Yeah.
If it's 4 o'clock and you're at 13, you gotta hit 7. Like I tell myself, I don't get to get in my car and drive home without hitting it with 7, or I have to hit this. So as you got that, so what is relevant? Relevance, what I see relevant as what's in it for you. So if you hit 20 a day, what's relevant to you? What is that? What do you get?
Well, I mean, everything about what I do is open to everybody to see. So there's that. I mean, I'm competitive by nature, so I don't like when I'm not hitting them. I mean, to me, I hate when I'm not hitting them.
You got massive integrity. So if you're the leader of the organization, if you're not hitting goals, you can't expect anyone else to hit their goals, right? So the relevancy is her status and her significance in the office. You want to make sure you hit those goals because she's got to set the example for everyone else. All right, so time back. How do you block your time? What do you eliminate distractions wise for you to be able to focus on?
That's been my biggest challenge. Is letting all the other things go and just realizing my one thing. My one thing is to grow. So that's where I struggle.
What have you tried?
I shut my door now a lot, which I used to not. So, and I try to make sure that I'm not having appointments in the morning, that I'm only lead generating. I'm really trying to be better with my time blocking because I wasn't as good with that in the beginning.
So you're
doing what you do best in the morning so you can get to the rest as the day goes. And by doing that, and you're, hi, Dan. You teaching us?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So as you're focused on that, how do you eliminate distractions? This is, can be open to the floor. So what's worked well for you to eliminate distractions?
Well, I said for me, it's, I've got to shut the door and just be, where nobody else can walk in and disturb me at that time, and put a sign on the door that that's what I'm doing.
I walk around with ear pods around the office, and act like I'm on the phone. Or act like I'm like in a meeting on his phone. But I'm not on the phone. And people will come to my office and and they turn around and walk away. They'll try opening my door. They'll turn around and walk. It's just, you've got to train someone. You've got to, I learned that I had to train my team in a way that I can't be the only person to help them with whatever they need help with. Number two, I'll also train them where a teammate can say, hey, really need your help with A, B, and C. I'm happy to help you, but I'd rather teach you how to fish instead of giving you a fish. So for me to help you and me to give you 10 minutes of your time, you got to come up with 3 ways that you think this 3 possible solutions that it might work. And that helps protect my time. I can't tell you how many times someone came to my door, they think a solution, they turn around and walk off without any bother. Then they're learning and evolving on their own, but A, it's great leadership. B, selfishly protects my time so I can focus on growing the business. Anybody else have any experiences with how to set smart goals? Anybody have any goals that you wanted to reach, but you keep struggling with, you keep hitting that ceiling?
I have a question for you, Wally. Back on from a team aspect. How long do you think it took you to like train your team to make those decisions for themselves? Without just coming to you for like protecting your time, I guess.
Well, I gave them freedom and understand there's not one single mistake they can make that I can't fix in my checkbook. I can't fix in my relationship with that person. And they've made mistakes. I mean, I've written plenty of earnest money refund checks, plenty. And I'm not saying everybody needs to go out there and do that, but you've got to give them the freedom for them to use their imagination to fix the problems that they have, number one. Number two, when I started having a model that it was given to them for them to follow from A to Z, they can always reserve back to their manual, always reserve back to their model. And then from there, I created a buddy system. Like CJ's buddy was Shane. Go ask Shane for help. He knows as much as I do, if not more than I do. And if he can't help you, then come to me. Let's try to have these solutions. So as much as I get credit for helping develop CJ, Shane has equal credit, if not more credit than me, because of the time invested that he poured into him that I did not have to. Answer the question. All right. Anybody want to be brave enough to share a goal that you're trying to hit that you've been struggling? All right, well, I'll share. So it's not, at least I don't think it's a secret, but I try to do everything that Denton does. So Denton ruptured his Achilles. And I'm like, dude, that looks cool. So let me go read. I'm at it. That is true. So I ruptured my Achilles in October. And then it was just so much fun that I re-ruptured again in December. Well, things got dark and I didn't really go into depression, but I was drinking every day and I was eating every piece of chocolate you could ever remotely imagine. To the point where I was ordering myself Tips treats.
We help that.
So I gained a few pounds.
You mean you would email the team or what are you?
Correct. And it's that, which was great leverage. But what was great about that is there was actually nothing really great about the tasting of it. But I gained about 24 pounds. And when I gained about 24 pounds, I started to be able to start working out again. So I used technology to help me keep me accountable for the sake of SMART goals. So specific, I wanted to lose 2 pounds a week. So measurable, I used an app called MyFitnessPal to measure it. Actionable, I got to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. with a trainer. Relevant, my wife is in amazing shape, and I did not want to be the not amazing shape person next to her. And time bound is I've got a few friends come over to the house on 4th of July, and I want to be able to feel confident taking my shirt off. So 4th of July to me was my time bound. So I gave myself a carrot I wanted to reach. I used technology to keep myself accountable. And I was very specific on my daily actions that I needed to do to help me reach them. Any questions there? Has anybody ever done anything like that that's helped you succeed? Anybody want to share? We'll start calling on Denton if you don't have anything to share.
Actually, I did something, I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
not real estate, like, instead of into lose weight. Like, I had a 3-year year that I would lose weight. And I did all of these things. I mean, not especially intermittent, but I have every day, and then I get some, literally, and I lost actually 45 pounds in.
35 pounds.
So I think I didn't have that 1 year, but I had said, I'm gonna do slowly. If I do very fast, again.
Yeah.
So I think anything you have that, but I'm having a lot of problem with my real estate. I know that, I don't know, I'm struggling with my buyers, like, I don't know, maybe they ask too much from me. They accept the offer. I work very hard to get those offers with all this multiple offer. And when they get, oh, I like the other one.
Yeah.
I'm having this problem with multiple buyers.
Well, first of all, congratulations for losing 35 pounds. That was absolutely amazing. That's really, really great. So as SMART, then you go to something called smarter goals. So the only difference between SMART and smarter goals is you've got to make your goals exciting. You've got to make your goals in a way that might be silly, but I love waking up early. I jump out of bed every morning. I really jump. I get out of bed every morning. Excited to go tackle the day because my day is exciting. So as you set your goals, what is exciting about your goals? What is exciting about your hard work that it's going to produce X, Y, and Z lifestyle that you're going to be super proud of? What is exciting about it? Then from there, what is in it for you? Rewarding. What is in it for you? Meaning as if I do X, this is my reward. So my reward for losing weight is for me to walk around Lake House confident in myself and not feel ashamed. I wanted to feel great about myself, and I wanted to see a big goal that I broke down in bite-sized pieces. That's all this is. Taking a big goal, breaking down in bite-sized pieces, and achieving that bigger goal. So anybody, when you do goals, do you feel like you make them exciting and rewarding, or are they just simply smart?
It's like go back over exciting again. I'm trying to not be confused between exciting and rewarding, because
Yeah.
they seem like the same thing. I know they're not.
No, it's probably fine. Great question. So I think I want you to own this. I want exciting to mean whatever exciting means to you, because if you own it, then you're going to execute it and you're going to implement it. For me, exciting means that it gives me a high. It gives me energy. It gives me purpose. It gives me a desire to have self-discipline because I'm excited about the outcome.
Which is the reward.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Okay.
Perfect. Excitement leads to reward. That's why they're that way.
Thank you.
Sure. Very good. Then have you ever had a smarter goal or smart goal that you reached?
Well, it reminds me on the exciting rewarding is the alignment piece. So the first part, which is smart piece. I think we got to go to ED.
Yep.
A lot of already covered this,
Yep. That's why you're here.
but most of the time when I talk to somebody, I ask them how do they know if they're winning, if they don't know, like I want to get more referrals rate. What does that mean? I mean, like, how do you know you're winning? They do a sports game, everybody knows you got to score more than the other team. Or a lot of people don't get smart, is they don't know when they're winning or wrong. Right? For some people that could be losing weight.
Yeah.
need to be smart about actually what is the measurable goal. The last part, or the blue part, is really the alignment with. If you have a SMART goal, this is aligned with the big vision. If it doesn't, you make it burn it, but if it does about yourself, wake up every day knowing, hey, I'm what's the goal.
So, and if you guys don't know, I owe a lot of my success to Dan. One of my best friends for, golly, almost 15 years now. But, learned a ton from it. You guys are very, very fortunate to have him here in the Market Center. But I'm gonna pick on him. So let's go through a goal that you want to accomplish, and let's make it smart.
Okay.
Okay, what's a goal?
180 pounds.
Sorry.
We'll stick with the weight, 180 pounds. Cool.
All right, so that sounds like it's pretty specific.
Yep.
All right, so how do you measure it?
I'm gonna get on the scale and say every day.
Okay. And what are you looking for on the scale that would be action?
That it decreases in weight over a period of time, and we'll say that time would be. That's about 35 pounds I need to lose. 120 days.
So you just jumped the time down, which is perfectly fine. What makes that relevant?
Because if I don't, I'm gonna continue to be unhealthy. And not live long enough for my kids, and also not be able to play sports. And be big balls, but again, it's fine. Get back on the big time.
So one sport has zero interest in playing ever again.
So
So,
at my 6, I know that it's a point of where if I let it go, it's get out of control, where I can take further.
so what makes that exciting?
Probably be able to fit back in my clothes for one. Right, be able to do more stuff, because now I'm coaching my son's baseball team, where it's still hard to move around. And I think the work part is to still be around and become a father for my kids.
So if he put that at, if he broke that down in bullet points, and he looked at that every day, and he adopted that on a daily basis, that becomes him. That becomes his self-conscious. That becomes this recording that happens in the back of his mind over and over and over as he digests that on a daily basis. That's why it's so important to look at your goals and what you want to accomplish. Thank you, Dan. So smarter, we go to the last one, which is smartest. Okay. Obviously, we got exciting in there, but seasonally appropriate. You can tell me what you think I mean by seasonally appropriate.
Like your current lifestyle.
Great. So my boys are 17 and 16. So we're about to be empty nesters. Hopefully not sooner or later, but soon enough. So I've got to plan goals, and I've got to plan a lifestyle, and I've got to plan a world around. It's just going to be my wife and I, which is freaking us both out, by the way. But it's got to be appropriate in that time. So if it was appropriate in that time, and I had a goal of I wanted to be a 0 handicap, and I wanted to practice 3 times a week and play 4 times a week. But if my kids were only 3 and 5 years old, would that have been realistic?
Yes.
Probably not. Yeah.
So not getting in the middle of it. That's actually, yeah, you've already.
Use that example.
Transformation. Let's move on. So transformation. Who you become. It took me a very long time in my career, my adulthood, to understand what the quote is: the journey is the goal, not the destination. Who you become on your path life is more important than where your life takes. Who do you transform to? To me, transforming into seeing someone that's on stage that is super successful, learning from them how to succeed, and me becoming as successful, more successful. I just improved to be, and that allows me to be a better father and a better husband. Also allows me to be a better person. So Gary Keller's got a phenomenal quote. I think y'all know who he is. He said that so many people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. Who can tell me what you think? Anybody? Nobody?
People want to do short term, like too high of expectations for a short term goal instead of having a long term strategy.
100%, and I am 1,000% guilty. So I wanted to write a book. So start writing a book in January. Then it was like, okay, so if you do a book, you got to market. Okay, now I got to get a podcast. Well, you've got to create something that becomes income producing. Okay, let's build an academy. Okay, what about, then you got to drive traffic to the academy. Then you've got to build sales funnels and click funnels to drive traffic to. There's just so much, but I was trying to do it all in a year. But if I spread that out over 3 to 5 years, Gary's quote is that people underestimate what they can do in 5 years. So as you're looking at your goals, give yourself time to evolve. Give yourself time to grow into your goals. Give yourself time to be able to accomplish them instead of trying to kill yourself and you end up quitting because you're trying to reach those goals. That's all I got. Any questions? Who's got an aha? Did I waste everybody's time or any takeaways that everybody says that wants to?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do I convert it to my real estate?
How do you convert it to your real estate? Jill, you want to answer that one?
I could. I mean, as far as setting goals, just to be, can you put back up the smart up there? I think you have to be specific in what you're doing every single day. Are you lead generating every single day? Are you setting aside time like that? I think that's very important for you to be doing. You've got to be able to measure that. So it's, are you meeting with a coach every week or discussing, what you're trying to accomplish and how you're going to get there and measuring it? Are you talking to enough people? Are you adding people to your database? Those are the actions. I think that's going to get you there. It's that consistency over time. It takes time. And I think that's something that, you'll see the results show up, but it's not going to happen overnight. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just say just give yourself small wins. Big mistake that I've made in my career is I would work so hard to a goal that I burnt myself out by the time I got to that goal. I can give a rip if I won the award or made the commission or won the deal. I trained myself, unfortunately, to be this robot of success that had very little or no enjoyment of his success. So she's 1,000% correct, but to keep you going in the journey of success, for you to enjoy the path, give yourself small rewards as you keep going. Sure. 2 more. Yes, sir.
I had a prior coach that just, when I first started, I was really frustrated because I didn't have as much momentum as I thought. And, along these lines right here with the SMART goals and things like that, he just said, respect the process. Everything that you've gone through, everybody else has gone through. However, if you continue, working through your goals on a daily basis, if you set them and if they're accurate, you're going to make those moves.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's true, but sometimes to your point, you need to give yourself some grace and some time to be able to make them.
Yeah, and I struggled with that a ton, the grace and the time to accomplish it. I was egotistically naive that I was going to double my production every year. Yeah, it was cool, rah, but I was a moron because I never did it. Right. But I was so hard on myself when I did do it. Oh, you're a loser. You're not good enough. You're negative. And the self-conscious is hearing it. So, what you said is brilliant. And it's so much truth to it. Just give yourself time to develop. Success is like a crock pot, not a microwave. Significant success is a crock pot, not a microwave.
Microwave.
What do you say?
I wanted to buy it.
You can figure out how to microwave success level. It's called the lottery. All right, last one.
I think the seasonally appropriate. I've never really thought of it that way, because I think when you create a goal, you kind of just go for like what you think is the best of the best, but then not coming down and saying like, okay, well, seasonally, what is going on in our lives right now? You know, young kids, what would be something that we can celebrate that is a small win currently that's going on in our life versus just reaching for the biggest thing when it's not going to happen in this current stage.
100%. Like Craig agrees.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and I think what's brilliant about that is if I feel, not if, when I consistently feel that my wife and I are on the same page in our family goals, I'm freaking unstoppable. Like there's zero ever is ever gonna get. And it gives me so much inspiration to know that she believes in my goals because they're seasonally appropriate for what we're trying to accomplish together as a. Right, Brad?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
I like the exciting part that she added to it, so you can have whatever, I mean, whatever goal you set, if you're not excited to get up and do it, if you're not excited about the result, you're not gonna do it. And that's where I've fallen in the past, like I've set big goals and then it's like, if you're not accomplishing them, like I think you said before, it's like, well, so what if I don't get it? I mean, I'm way off, I'm not gonna get it, but if you set yourself up like 1% better, or like you can't get to 40 until you get to 1. And then 2 and 3, and it's like you said like success is like, would you say success is like a crock pot? I've heard this like a long time ago, like success only comes before work in the dictionary. I don't remember where I heard that, but it's a similar quote. It's like, you gotta put in the work to get it.
100%. And I think what's, success is such an addiction. This last piece of advice I'm gonna give is don't compare your chapter 5 in your book to somebody else's chapter 40. You didn't experience those 35 chapters of experience and journey and successes and failures. And that gave me grace to understand, yes, that person on stage is so admirable and I love what they're doing. They're doing so much more than me, but they're on chapter 40. I'm on chapter 5. How do we get to chapter 6? I can't go from chapter 5 to chapter 40. How do I get to chapter 6? Cool. Anything else you want to add, Craig? Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it true that you have to really believe in your goal, believe that it's possible for you to do that thing, whatever it is, instead of you just saying, oh, I picked this, and you really don't think
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah, because it's got to be relevant to you. It's got to mean something to you. So if your definition of being relevant is like, it's in my season of my time, it means something to me. Right. So I got this weird thing about birthday, and I try to get best shape if I can, but as I get closer to my birthday, so I'll be 45 this November.
Well, I don't even feel sorry for you, but go ahead.
So I got this journal of where my weight and measurements were right before I turned 44. And every year I try to improve that because it's better for me. I can be in better shape at 45 than I was at 44. I'm not trying to be in better shape at 45 than I was at 20. Right? It means something to me to stay in great shape and be in better shape as every year goes. So as long as it means something to you, you put the passion, you put the drive behind it.
So a lot is what you say to yourself in your mind.
100%. Not 1,000%. Who does morning affirmations or affirmations? Anybody want to share one?
No. I make my own market.
What does that mean to you?
It's when I'm calling expireds and canceled and for sale by owners that it is more of a numbers game than it is the market around me.
You believe that?
Yes. Because I know that if I make 100 calls, I know, I'm for sale by owners and expired specifically, I know that.
What's beautiful about that is he had a vision. He did the daily work to accomplish that vision, and every single day that he accomplishes that he controls his own market, it reinforces that his vision can't come alive. That's what I meant to the young lady. Give yourself small successes. More small successes that the harder success becomes so much easier.
And to kind of drill down on it, I may only have 5 for sale by owners. Because the other ones are either way out of the scope of range that I work, but I mean. Small goals, as long as I can touch base with all 5, as in like get in touch with somebody, call them physically, they answer, we have a conversation, they get in my pipeline. That's what I mean by conversations. If I can even get done with 5 during the week, then that's a successful week as far as for
I love how measurable, but I love how smart it is. About how you pick it. Yep. All right. One more. I want to share an affirmation.
Can I want to add one thing just in case somebody in here, who this right here. So one of my first real estate coaches doing exciting and doing those and stuff, that didn't do it for me for some reason. I do something cool every day. I've always been that way. But so he tied it to pain because we operate from pain or pleasure. As soon as we set a goal once that I was had to clean my ex-wife's closet. Because me and her have been fighting for about 2 years. And he literally made me sign a document that said I would literally clean, going through a divorce, my ex-wife's closet. I hit a goal. So I'm just saying, some people operate from pain. If I get really broke, that's when I attack. When I get real comfortable, I don't attack. So, I mean, it's the pleasure. Some people need to operate from pain. Just FYI.
So, yeah, absolutely. So I've been lucky to take bold 7 times. And one of my instructors in bold was Pat Mancuso. I loved him so much that I hired him as a coach for 3 years. Pat had me write a $10,000 check if I didn't do the bold 100 the following week to my ex-girlfriend.
Okay, there you
I
go.
hadn't talked to her in like 10 plus years or so, 15 years probably. But she cheated on me. I walk in on her, so like, I'm telling you, I'm way too much. She's like, I am not ready to not give her $1,000. It's not gonna happen, right? I got a bowl of 100 next. And so I know exactly what you mean. So, okay, so go back to affirmations. So does anybody have fear of success and uses affirmations to help them get over their fears? All right, it's only one. So one of my affirmations is, Wally, what's the point of dreaming big if you're not brave enough to live big? Go grab life big. To me, those few words make me get over my fear of having these big dreams, the big things I want to accomplish, but being a wantrepreneur instead of entrepreneur. Because I want all this, but I'm not willing to put forth the effort. Another one is I sometimes have these great goals and things I want to accomplish, but I end up quitting. So, Wally, Rome was not built in a day. It was built day after day after day after day after day. Keep building. And the last one is, my questions are piercing, my answers are motivating, my presence is commanding, and my success is untouchable. I literally said those 4 sentences before I walked in this door because I was nervous today. Those 4 sentences gave me the bravery to walk through that door and try to give you guys notes. It's really all I can keep talking about.
Is he said again?
All of them are just laughing.
No,
Just
the
start from
affirmation that you just said.
My questions are piercing. So that makes me a great listener. My answers are motivating. That gives me brave enough to add value to someone. My presence is commanding. Shoulders back, stand up tall, smile, interact, engage, which makes my success untouchable. No one's my competition. Thank you. It's meant a lot to me. Very good. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, Wally.
One small favor. Please take all the food with you. Then we order too much food. Yeah, yes, it is. So, all right. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Wally.
Are you good?
was gonna say, just be very.
Yeah. I was thinking like.
Well, it's good to see you again. Yeah.
Thanks, right?
How are you today? I'm good.
Later, brother. Yeah, I'll be here. I'm gonna get here at 11. Yeah. I will probably see you tomorrow at around. Yeah.
It's on 20th, right? A little closer now.
Like, I don't think you got. Just clean house. You can make house. Yeah. That's what we're about to say. It's about a beat, just for understanding. We did some sheds, things in God and how we want to. And at the end of the day, it's important to handle things like that. There's better ways to worry about them. Things are things that prevent us from operating on. Yeah. We looked down there. I got like t-shirts. So you send away the photos. They sent me those. Actually, go ahead. All right, I'll talk to you.
Santa.
That's right.
So long.
Yeah, I keep finding stuff.
Learn.
The place that you didn't.
MC professional.
What it says.
You've been silent versus.
Yeah, really.
Stickers.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah, cause I was really a perfectionist and anxiety. Actually, what if I don't succeed at on these writing this? I do. I do. My boss is like, "You're
Grab it, I'll get everything. I'm trying to go. Yeah.
My July.
Yeah, well, that was like for us, that May was a record for us, but that's normally all historically, you know, so record. Everything.
I was thinking. I was in.
Yeah.
Same dude. I'm a college. I ran 0.7 last year. This week. So we can use it. I'm going pretty much January, February. I've had probably. I'm actually have my best year. So far. You guys.
Yeah, that's what we hear. Career month, right? It's like,
Wally, I'm good. Nice to meet you. Greg, I'm still wherever that. I'll get started. I work there.
So how does that do?
With your employees, how do you set their goals?
Like very bottom,
Like if you're using the same kind of thing.
They
establish an area, you know,
that's what I'm.
Yeah. Biggest thing.
Sorry, Al, the maths doctor.
Yeah.
He's like,
Okay.
so his goal is like, I'm gonna do everything.
Be excited about that.
My health is great, but they can want to help me. Like the rest is.
Yeah. So
like when I
probably keep them
I just like.
Yeah, it's just.
It's not like it becomes.
Herniated thing, top hour, it's compressed disc is, that's what I analyzed it, okay, this is a. Yeah, including forever is this time. It's just, it's, yeah. So like, when you look at MRI, it's only the. Without. Not really. And I've done. Maybe like one more practice. And I've got to do the stretch. That's where Steve belts you into two tables and like try to separate you. But at least it helps realize that. Okay, yeah, I got that a lot there, but for me, like I've done 3 rounds. Third one I did in March and I'm doing like.
Thank you.
19, so. Okay, nice. They do physical therapy. Yeah. Yeah, what, I haven't felt this thing. I'm still one more day. Bragging about it. 24 days. But.
She said you're about to graduate here.
Yeah.
She told me, I said, so how's that?
Yeah, they're gonna check me out.
I said, she said.
you may have to just like.
It's been free for so long, which is convenient considering I met my brother.
Yeah, right.
Here's some freedom, you know. Classes.
Yeah, Jessica's going to 3:30, Pilates class.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as that referral.
On for. Right now, because I don't know.
Yeah, that's
right. They have it, and then they.
So she can only treat her for so long. Want to keep seeing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Cause I'm.
You know, good.
Immediately thought, just TV out of.
Good. The fact that people are like, yeah, that's great. So good.
3 to 5 in out of 1. I'm like a 1 or 2 trick. See you guys.
Thank you, Wally.
Thank you.
Do you guys have like a break room or something, or do you want to take this? Yeah, we can go to the break room.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go over there. It'll be fine by. Okay, all right. I just didn't want to leave you guys with trash.
You're good.
I'm done right now.
We'll take care of it.
I just got it. Yeah. So you used to work. Yeah. Yeah, away. That's what I was. Used to work. Very good. Yeah, there was a lot of years.
I would like to see first.
When I started going, I was.
Just keep rolling.
I mean, you're really good at culture. You know, that's the reason why. I don't remember, but.
Right.
Yeah, those are good.
Always.
We're good.
Where are your goals? Good. It's 5 bedroom.
Read that. Read that. Okay.
What's
Well, I was telling my doctor, but like, yeah, also like. Yeah, like I went in.
It's nice to meet you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Good work. Like, there's your problem right there. And then, so I've been, what do you need, like? No. Now we just, it's like, I just want to get you to run, like, it's okay to.
Yeah.
like,
Let's face like this.
In my 30 years. And I go to the house, that's because it helps, and I have clients that I see.
That's not.
So. So.
Yeah, I totally say that for me.
And it's like, my job is to.
I am running more
and I would like that.
No, I'm running through
For the
the
next
like
10
10.
And Lindsay's job is.
What do you do?
I mean, she's all about building up.
Yeah, for and all that. I've been doing it for the last couple of years. I lost so much core strength. You too, all right.
Yeah.
Like stuff I see them do.
And it hurts so bad. It's really.
He said, you know, Wally said. He said, you know, Wally, I said, when she was like, where's CJ? I don't know.
All of a sudden it doesn't hurt.
He said it wasn't on his calendar, and then when I walked by.
Let's go, yes.
Always watching golf.
That should be, that adds up.
You can be on the phone and watching golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Figure out something. Maybe call. I should figure out what I'm PGA that's check it out.
I did.
200 yard.
Yeah, cool.
I didn't put tri chairs, so what else? All their, in their front office will, front desk will be able to look it up. So it's booked with this 8 hours. It is, yeah, so. I mean, not bad.
All right, cool.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh.
Big one, yeah. 70. You said no, us. We need you out there, once, told Todd, Alvin, once we get up, gets his back in shape.
Yeah, but I've seen him more in the last 2 weeks than I had prior to that. He's like up in the club, it's like,
I'm working out with him now that,
he's like this.
yeah, no, he looks terrible.
I'm like, dude, you
So we went in, I'm not really training him, just working out with him, but the very first day that we went in there, I had him doing his lunge and he put his leg back and fell. Like just fell and like rolled. Dude, you can't start like that. You can't do that to me. I was freaking out because there were other people in there and he just fell. And start with, get up. Dude, oh God. But he's getting better. He gets out there and I know Scott would do it too. Scott would go out. Yeah. He gets people on the Jordan's back in town. Is he? Yeah. He was right down the street from my house. It's up 121 in Custer, I think. I don't know if he's playing, you know, he's got 2 brand new hips. Yeah. That's, yeah. I don't know who else. I mean, there's all kinds of other people, but. I heard y'all talking about Meredith. You ever go out there then?
yeah. Still decided, yeah, because Wally's a member out there.
Okay.
So we go out there, I'm not gonna say a lot, but occasionally.
Yeah.
Supposed to play there tomorrow with. Denver, and then I was like, yeah, who's in the game? Because he was gonna set up the game. It's me and Romo and another.
Got player, you're getting better.
Yeah.
The Taylor Moore and Kevin Doherty are out there, the 2 guys that I worked with a little bit on it. Cowboys Fit.
Yeah.
I still talk to Kevin a little bit. I followed him around at Rangers and talked to this family, but Taylor, I did. Yeah, become a winner on the PGA Tour. You got new priorities, you get blown up by everybody. He'll send me some stuff every now and then, but yeah. It's crazy, 64 or 64 from 6 feet. I knew he was good, but I actually thought Kevin was gonna be the guy that was gonna get through first. I didn't think Taylor was gonna do it. Taylor had that scare at the Timberlake concert in Arizona, almost died.
Right.
Yeah, he got food poisoning so bad he couldn't stop throwing up, so all his insides like just completely ruptured, and he was in the emergency room. And then came back after that, but yeah, it was crazy. So those 2 guys are out there, I'll text Kevin and be like, yeah, I know this guy named Craig, he's really good, you should play against, test your game.
Yeah, please, let me know when to show up.
Right. I was gonna tell you before I left, I'm gonna start getting into some real estate investing.
Yeah.
Looking for distressed properties and whatnot. Some of the ways I've found, I'll need real estate agents, so see if I can start throwing some stuff your way.
What's like what specifically, like around town or just
Anywhere.
I mean, a lot of them are north, Pilot Point, Sherman, places like that where people are starting to move, but if you want to do like buy and hold or buy and rent. I'm gonna wholesale some down to start. Gotcha. And then it'll transition into buy and hold. Yeah, maybe some buy and flip. I don't know that I really want to do the flipping stuff. I've got another guy that works, I think he's Keller Williams too, but he does some flipping as well. So I may find the stuff, give it to him, let it do it, or talk to you guys and see what y'all do, but I don't know. Yeah, what your scope is on that, but y'all want anything like that or?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really, but like on the flipping side, like reader.
Yeah. I was just thinking maybe like a sideboard. Yeah. Future real estate, you talking about wanting to acquire properties, so. If I find them. When I find them, because I will. Yeah. I'll shoot you some and see what you think and.
Yeah, fine, I mean, if it doesn't fit us, I got. You guys know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I know there's a few real estate agents, obviously the girl that sells our house, she semi-interested, but not a ton.
Yeah.
A girl used to work at the Cowboys Fit, she's up in Aubrey and Pilot Point, so that's kind of their little niche area, but there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So. I find them all ping you and say,
Yeah, let me know.
what do you think? And sure, maybe if we need to get another agent on the other side, all you just get yourself commission.
Yeah.
See how I can help you out.
Perfect.
Not always about scratching my back and trying to answer my calls, and I do want to build a portfolio like that too, so. We'll, yeah. We'll figure out something.
Keep me posted.
I will. For sure.
Thanks
Thank you for posting this.
Yeah, you got it.
I'll bring out some more people next time.
Sweet.
Room up.
Hey. It was good for the first time.
Yeah, just keep sharing it though.
Bye.
Good to see you, Greg.
You too.